Somewhere in the Northwood's darkness, a creature walks upright, and the best advice you may ever get is never to go out at night. In Michigan folklore, the Dogman, or what could be seen as an alleged werewolf, the creature is described as a 7-foot tall, amber-eyed, bipedal canine-like animal with the torso of a man and a fearsome howl that sounds like a human scream. It was first witnessed in 1887 in Wexford County, Michigan. Although the story has roots in Native American folklore, it has become more widely known in past several decades, particularly from 1987, when the legend of the Michigan Dogman gained popularity owing to disc jockey Steve Cook at WTCM-FM recording a song about the creature and its reported sightings. Much of the origin of the Michigan Dogman is a mystery. However, there is similarity to the Yinad-Lushi. Yinad-Lushi is the Navajo word for werewolf, also known as skinwalkers, which means literally, with it, he goes on all fours. A skinwalker is only one of several varieties of witches in the Navajo culture. The witches in the Navajo culture are malignant figures, which represent the antithesis of Navajo culture values. In order to become a skinwalker, one must first be initiated into the witchery way. Killing a relative or sibling or necrophilia are common initiations. After the initiation into the witchery way, they take part in the corpse poison way. Corpse poison is literal. It's powdered corpse, particularly from fingertips or the back of the skull. The preferred source of corpse poison is dead children, especially that of twins. The witch then becomes skinwalkers in order to deliver the corpse poison in secret to the witch sing. Taking place in a secluded area, the witch sing is the opposite of a good sing. Navajo gather to sing, paint, and pray to the spirits for blessings, good crops, good hunting, safe families, and so on. The witches sing, however, calls for the opposite. At the witches sing, the witch people paint with ash instead of sand. Contrary to popular media representation, the skinwalkers are a malevolent force. There are no good skinwalkers. While at opposite ends of the country, and being amongst many Native American beliefs surrounding shapeshifters and spirits, the similarities are nonetheless striking. An investigator named Linda Godfrey has been following this strange wolf-like creature. She is an author that has published many different books on werewolf-like creatures. Her extensive research led her to believe that the Michigan Dogman has some sort of link to Native American mounds and other sacred sites. Aside from the first reported sighting by 2 lumberjacks in 1887, there are a few sightings worth mentioning. One of the most infamous being that of Robert Fortney. In the summer of 1938, Fortney, who was 17 at the time, was fishing on the Muskegon River, closest to the town of Paris, Michigan. Suddenly, Fortney was attacked by a pack of wild dogs, 6 as far as Fortney could count. The teenager was lucky to have his rifle handy. Before any of the dogs could lunge, he fired 1 warning shot into the air. After that, all of the dogs scattered, save for 1. This black fur canine proved to be no ordinary dog. However, and as soon as the shot rang out, it proceeded to stare into Fortney's eyes with his own piercing blue gaze from a distance of 10 feet. Then it started grinning. Not succumbing to fear, Fortney fired 1 more warning shot, this time causing the perhaps what could be a werewolf to run off. However, instead of skedaddling on all fours, this would-be werewolf stood up to around 6 feet tall before running away on 2 legs. The second incident occurred amidst one chilly Michigan winter. At roughly 11:30 p.m, retired law enforcement officer Laura Love was riding shotgun with a friend of hers who wished to remain anonymous, only being referred to as C. The two were heading north on US 31 near the West Weber Road overpass when they spotted something monstrous on the cold, snowy road. Love recounts, We saw a large, tall, dark and oddly shaped creature run out from the left side of the overpass, claimed Love, and hit the rear quarter panel of the small truck in front of us, causing the truck to fishtail. The other truck didn't even stop to check for damage, it just sped off. However, Love and her friend were able to get a look at the lunar-lit lupine. She describes it as almost 7.5 feet tall, dark-furred bipedal figure with backward-looking knees and nearly a lion's mane's worth of fur sitting on its neck with a fancy fur collar. She also claimed that the Dogman had a face like a border collie. The creature didn't stop to put any further show on for its audience of two. It ran off, disappearing into a patch of weeds and trees. Love and C drove home silently, stunned, and didn't discuss their encounter until they're in the safety of Love's home. Only then were the two able to admit to each other that they both indeed seen the Michigan Dogman. Lastly, in 1961, a night watchman was patrolling a manufacturing plant in Big Rapids, Michigan, when he saw a peculiar figure. At first he thought it was a person until he saw the dog-like features. He pulled his gun and was about to shoot when he remembered his camera and decided to take a photo of the horrific beast. The photos have not yet been analysed, and the photo to this day still remains an unsolved mystery. Regardless, the photo is still unsettling. While there are more stories surrounding the Dogman according to investigators, local residents prefer to keep much of this information private. Many of the sightings took place in the Upper Peninsula, which to this day is still an untamed, almost alien wilderness, stretching on for miles. In those uncharted places, under the dark canopy of trees, with howling wind all around, it's easy for one's imagination to play tricks. And yet with several eyewitness accounts, the possibility of such a creature becomes frighteningly real. One final word of caution: when in Michigan woods, keep your wits about you and stay on the path, or you may just find yourself face to face with the monstrous Michigan Dogman.